thought it was going to give me an opportunity to do a preview, but I guess not. So here we go. That's a bit bright. There you go. Ooh. Let me know the mic situation if anyone's listening. Check you can actually hear me. Let me know, guys, if you're listening, what the audio is like, if it's any good. If you're watching, please head over and subscribe to the channel right now, and then put in the comments where you're subscribing from or where you're from. Whereabouts in the world are you? I'm in Wales in UK, and doing some Lego discussion and talking about this mock that I've started. As you can kind of see the base of it, and obviously I'm adding one part to this Home One 7754 Lego set for every new subscriber that we get. So please subscribe, and then I can add more pieces to it. This is day 10 of going live every single day until we hit 1,000 subscribers. That's my commitment. Just change this camera angle a little bit. You can actually see what's in front of me as opposed to just lots of wall space. So yeah, so this is my daily live stream. So welcome to it, but please go across and subscribe to the channel first. We always get a big wad of people land in the chat just after I go live, and then they all kind of say a few things and clear off, and not nobody ever, but a lot of them don't end up subscribing. So which is fair enough. I might not be everybody's cup of tea. I mean, usually I try to avoid watching anything on YouTube that I'm not interested in. So, you know, if they've stumbled across a Lego channel, then you like to think that they're at least slightly interested in Lego. So for you guys watching, like I said, go and give me a sub. I can see somebody's subscribed already, so we've just had an extra subscriber, which is great. We finished on 350 yesterday, which was kind of sad because it was the first day I'd only had a small amount of subscribers. I only had 1 subscriber during yesterday's stream, mostly because I was building through the entire stream, so I wasn't connecting with chat as much as I normally would. And I was kind of spent most of the stream looking down, focused on building this mock. So I'm not going to do that today, although I will talk you through some of the bits I did after the stream to move it forward. But yeah, only 1 sub. Every other day we've gotten anywhere between, I think it was 10 is the most we've had during a stream, averaging about 5. So obviously I'm keen to get as many as possible, so I'm trying different times a day, trying different parts of the house. I've been on the settee, I've been on both sides of this table, I've been in my normal streaming location where we do the show every Sunday. I'm even going to start trying to do streams whilst I'm walking around. Just could go live and just kind of take a walk around the block, and just do kind of new and different things, just to give you guys a bit of a change of scenery, because I know there's a lot of people out there who do Lego streams, and every time you tune in, they're just sat, just same angle, sometimes not talking to the camera, just building Lego or sorting through Lego. And it gets a bit tedious because you don't know which day you're watching for the next. But for those watching now, like I said, just had another burst of people in. So this is day 10 of going live and doing a live stream for every day until I hit 1,000 subscribers, which you can see we're a third of the way there, over a third of the way there, but we have still got a long way to go. As well as going live every single day until we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're also adding 1 piece to this set, or from this set, for every new subscriber. So at the end of the stream, I will add on as many pieces as we've had new subscribers. So this is what we've built so far. It's part of the A-Wing that comes with this Home One Calamari Cruiser, which is a Lego set I've had in my collection for about 5 or 6 years. Never had a chance to build it. It is pre-loved, but in extremely good condition for an older set. Even when I bought it, obviously it'd been out for quite a long time. It's from 2009, which was the 10-year anniversary of Star Wars. It was quite a rare set, wasn't widely released, and also was only available for a short period of time. I think it retired within a year. So it's a set that I've looked forward to buying. So I just thought to myself, if I'm going to do this live stream situation and set myself a target of trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, then why not at least do a set that's quite interesting and a set that I've been looking forward to doing. There is chat coming up on the screen there, which I can't see because my camera is slightly too far away, but I have got the chat open on my laptop. However, there is a slight delay to that. So the comments may not be quite up to date, but I'll do my best to engage with you guys. So we can see we got Baxter. Hi from Portsmouth. Baxter, how are we doing? Thanks for joining the stream. Please make sure you go ahead and subscribe and come back regularly, because not only will I be streaming every day, and it'll be random Lego content every day. Sometimes I'll be building, sometimes I'll be doing mocks. Sometimes, the other day I spent a stream going through this big bag of old Lego elements from like the 70s and 80s. Sometimes, like I said, I build. So I built this the other day on a stream. Sometimes I take sets apart. Sometimes I just chat with the people out there. But please give us a sub. There's plenty of Lego content here, as well as our regular show every Sunday. Poppy Platimus, what are you doing? Said hi. What are you doing? Poppy Platimus, hopefully I've explained it since. But yes, I am doing a live stream talking about Lego, possibly doing Lego, lots of other things, but I'm going live every single day until we hit 1,000 subscribers. So hopefully you can help with that by giving us a sub. Mohammed, as if Biggie, what am I building? Okay, so at the moment, currently on my build, my plans to build is this. I'm going to try and build this tomorrow, but I do want to set myself a target of how many subscribers I hit before I do this. So if we can get, we started on 350, but if we can get to 375 by tomorrow, I will build this live on the stream. If we hit 360, I'll build a smaller set. And if we don't hit any of those numbers, then I'll just find something else to do. But This is the mock that I've started. So this is made using the parts, solely the parts from the Rogue Shadow. So I started this on yesterday's stream, and so far I've got this body and I've got this hand that I've created using the parts. It's going to be one of the hands, and the other hand is going to be a weapon. So I only really need one hand, but it took quite a while to get to this point. Obviously the fingers and everything, and the hand is, you know, fully movable. So you can see, and it's got some automation. It also obviously twists here, so you can kind of twist the hand this way as well. That's as far as I got with the hand. I did build the forearm as well, but then I had to take it apart because it wasn't quite right. And at the moment I've just got these kind of two arms. So the arms, these are just the shoulder pieces. I got to finish the rest of the arm. So the arm have the ability to go up and down like this. They have the ability to go back and forth like this, and they have the ability to go like this. So there's a little bit of automation there, less so with the legs, but it is a joint at the ankle, a joint at the knee, a joint at the hips so far. So, but obviously there's a long way to go on it. It's going to be quite a big mech as well by the looks of it. So, and then my favorite part, once I've got all the autonomy bits sorted, everything moving and whatever, is to do the cockpit and to bulk out the body. Baxter is saying hi from Portsmouth again. Hi Baxter, I love Lego. I've subscribed. Thank you. I really appreciate you, Bex. Let's just hope we can get a few more guys on board. And obviously, if you're regular to the stream, please, or if you're regular to the channel, because we've had a pretty committed bunch of subscribers. I'd say anywhere between 50 and 70 who tune into our show every week. We don't always get that many viewers at any given time. I think the most we've had at any given time is 40, but looking at the analytics, we have up to about 100 different people coming in and out of the stream on any given stream. We had 311 subscribers when I started doing this day to day. So I'm quite pleased that up until yesterday, we gained 39 subscribers in 10 days. So I think I'm just going to round that up to 40 in a week. So hopefully if we can keep building on that, we can get a really good number. So we're on 352 already. So we've got 2 already just since this stream. So that's great to see. And obviously I'll have to keep going back and checking that, as well as checking chat and see what you guys are up to. Like I said, apart from Baxter, who's from Portsmouth, where's everybody else from? And obviously thanks for joining the stream. Currently in Wales myself. You can see my Lego Wales mat that I use to build or whatever on. It's got a little dent in it. I dropped the Lego set on it the other day and it's got a little dent. I've kept the plastic on it for now, just until I'm happy to kind of take it off. But yeah, I dropped a Lego set on it the other day and gave it a dent. Actually, there's a couple of dents in there. I must have dropped a few things on it, unfortunately. But there you go. Mats are supposed to be worn in. It's kind of boring if you've got a Lego mat and you don't get any dirt or Lego or anything on it. Drop any Lego or anything on it. It's kind of not fun then, is it? So, Paddy is out there. Sarah, how are you doing? I obviously know who you are and where you're from, so you don't need to tell us, but you can let the rest of the chat know if you like. Baxter, fingers crossed you'll get more. Sorry, I've got to cook out dinner now. Catch you later. Yes, I've got to go and cook dinner straight after this. But Becky, or Baxter, it was nice to meet you. Hopefully get to see you again on one of the streams. Like I said, we're going every day, so make sure you click the notifications so you'll be notified when I go live. A variety of different things. Try to make it different every day. But also we have a show that we do 7 p.m. UK time every Sunday, which is like a 3-hour show. Me and a host of other guests. We have different guests every week. Sunday just gone, we had Greg from London Bridge Bricks on our show as the featured guest. He's a good friend of mine. And we'll have guests and different things going on. We got a mock specialist called Just a Peeler coming on this Sunday, so that's going to be quite fun. So yeah, tune in every week. Me and the co-hosts over there. Cool Hang Luke is the name of the show. And hopefully you'll enjoy that. And that goes out to everybody, not just to Baxter. So I'm good. I have cake. Oh yeah, today is cake day. You did say. Yeah, what kind of cake have you got though? Andrew 444, you're going to get Crimson Dessert. Oh, sorry, Crimson Desert. You're going to get Crimson Desert. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Andrew. Crimson Desert. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a Lego set of some kind, I'm guessing? I only collect Lego Star Wars generally. However, my household is filled with Mario and creator sets and 3-in-1 sets and botanicals from other members of the family. But generally, I'm Lego Star Wars. I do dabble in a few other bits and pieces, but generally Lego Star Wars, and I try to create some mocks as well where I can. It's a PS5 game. No, I don't have a PS5. Last PlayStation I had was a PlayStation 2, and the only reason I bought that PlayStation 2 was because I wanted to get the Star Wars Saga game, which came out for it. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan as well, as you can probably guess. And once I finished playing it, I don't think I ever played the PlayStation again. So, no, not a big console guy. I've had I've had every version of the Nintendo since the Super Nintendo. And I enjoyed those, but more of a social thing. I don't kind of sit and game on my own. I'll play at the moment, like with the Switch, we'll play with my daughter and my fiance. And in the past, I used to play like the Wii with my friends or with my housemates, depending on where or who I lived with at the time. But generally Mario Kart or Mario. I'm not a kind of, get in at night, headphones on, sit and game. I haven't got the time for it, even if I wanted to, but I'm not really that into games as such. But hopefully you get a chance to go and buy that. I'm assuming you're going to, and you enjoy it, and it's a fantastic game. Let me know what it's about in the chat. I'm still interested to know, and obviously if it's something you find fun, then that's great, especially if you're here sharing it. That's amazing. A PS5 game, yeah. I have a cinnamon bun and a crispy chocolate cake. Ooh, that sounds good. My mum used to make Rice Krispie cakes and shredded wheat cakes and cornflake cakes. Was there anything else she used to do? Generally, obviously chocolate, but the shredded wheat one was the best she used to do, because she used to mash up the shredded wheat, obviously coat it in the chocolate like you would a cornflake cake and a Rice Krispie cake, but she would make it into the shape of a nest, and then she would buy the mini eggs and put them inside there, so they were little, sort of about the, obviously she'd use a baking tray, so the Yorkshire pudding type baking tray or cake baking tray, she'd make them in those. So yeah, so those were amazing to have when we were kids. You had to try not to bite it too hard though, because it cut all the roof of your mouth, because the shredded wheat, once coated in chocolate, was like rock hard, but tasty, really tasty. And now that I think about those and I remembered those, I need to reach out to my mum and say, Mum, for Mother's Day, do you mind making me a batch of Easter nests? She used to make them on Easter. So yeah, let's have a look. But any of you guys, Andrew444, please give us a sub on the channel if you can, please. I would really appreciate it. And anybody else who's still around, who's new to the channel, go and give us a sub. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to say that a lot, because yesterday we didn't do too well because I didn't engage with the chat much. So this time I'm going to make a conscious effort to be better at both engaging with the chat and better at promoting why I'm here, because I'm not just here to build Lego. You can kind of see that anyway. What I'm doing here is doing a live stream every single day until I hit 1,000 subscribers, which I think is quite a worthy task. Even if you're not really into Star Wars or Lego, and you don't necessarily like watching live streams, give me a sub anyway, because I think the fact that I've thrown down the gauntlet to myself and give myself a challenge of doing a live stream every single day until we hit 1,000, then I think that's worthy of a sub. And for anybody interested, we were less than a third of the way there when I started. So it's not like I've seen people doing like a drive to 1,000 subs when they're on like 900 or 950. And I've even seen people do it when they're on like 990 just to get those last 10 subs. But we were way off. We weren't even a third of the way there. So I think to make that pledge, even though I haven't obviously seen it through yet, we're 10 days deep, so we're on the right track. But I think that deserves some credibility at the very least. Easter nests, yes, we used to make those in preschool with the littles to take home. It was always fun to watch them try not to eat more than they made. Yeah. I mean, I think my mum used to say that it was better value for money because you wouldn't need a lot of that shredded wheat, because once it got, excuse me, coated in chocolate, it kind of thickened. And obviously, in terms of like a box of shredded wheat, you can imagine how many of those nests you could make when you obviously crush a shredded wheat down. I think my mum used to do like a whole tray of them out of like 1 or 2 shredded wheat. Whereas obviously with Rice Krispie cakes and cornflake cakes, you know, you probably get a lot less bang for your buck. So, well, yeah. Oh. So anyway, I did work on this a little bit for anybody who was watching yesterday's stream, a little bit more. So you can see it's kind of taking some kind of shape. I'm a little bit disappointed with the arms because basically I've had to work in a, you can probably see it here, I've had to work in a little system here for the arms to go back and forth. So the range of movement is limited to, I suppose, what a typical arm would mostly be doing. So it's not quite straight down. Although don't forget there's going to be a hinge at the arm as well. So it doesn't mean I can't, you know, move the arm a little bit more. But in terms of, you know, the shoulder piece, it does that. I can't seem one to put his arm any further up than that. But if you think about it really with an arm, how often is your arm like that? You know, you only got probably a, let's say a, what would it be, 90 degrees times 3, or a 270 degree usage of the arm. This guy's got a little bit less than that, but yeah, that's just the kind of sacrifice I have to make, because otherwise, if I didn't put that into place, then no matter what I did with the arm, it would just keep dropping back down, and I want to be able to oppose him with like holding a weapon or holding something, and obviously I can't do that. Even now, when the arm is in this position or in the up position, when I let go of it, it kind of drops. So I'm going to try and work on that a little bit, but for the time being, it means I can move forward with like the bottom arm piece. And what I tend to do when I do these kind of mocks is I'll do the basic skeleton like this and make sure I've got the range of movement right. Like I said, in an ideal world, I'd like to have him move his legs like a human leg would, and move his knees and move his ankles. But the reality of it is A, no mech does full range of motion, no matter how good it is, and even if it's built by Lego, no mock that I've ever seen has that full range of motion, because you'd have to have a ball joint all the way up and down. And even then, the ball joint is kind of limited compared to a human joint. But the way I see it is, it's not trying to be human, it's trying to be a mech. And if you've watched things like Pacific Rim, or any kind of like mech related, like I was just watching Fallout, and they got those kind of Titans, or not Titans, what are they called? The guys in the big suits. I don't know much about Fallout. I'm enjoying the show, but I don't know much about the lore of it. But long story short, whenever you see things like that in real life, or you know, in movies and TV show and stuff, the range of motion is limited anyway. So I'm trying to get it as best as I can close to what a mech's motion range of motion is, as opposed to a human. And obviously, without having any ball joints in here, I am limited. Always going to be limited. And I don't mind so much with the legs, because apart from, you know, being able to pose it, walking, I don't need it to be able to do like high kicks and the splits. And in fact, I could do both of those things anyway, but I don't need it to be able to kind of, you know, dance on the dance floor. I just need to be able to kind of pose it. Whereas the arms, I think, in terms of like holding things, and it would be good to be able to do that. So the shoulder joint was always going to be the most challenging. From the elbow down should be a lot easier. But once I've got that in place, what I'll then do is go back to each joint and try and see if I can fine tune it with whatever pieces I've got left. Because at the moment, I don't want to use every piece I've got to make the shoulder joint amazing. And like I did yesterday, I found a way to get the entire joint exactly as I wanted it. But then I didn't have enough pieces to do anything with the other arm. So I had to kind of sacrifice a few, and therefore sacrifice some motion. But the result is now that I've got relatively good use, and It does fall off a little bit again because it's not structurally sound at the moment, but again, I'm not worried about that at the moment because that's something I can fine tune. Like I've just attached a brick to a brick. I haven't done any fortification like you would on a Lego set where you put a couple of pieces on and then you clip some pieces to those pieces to keep them in place. I haven't done any of that because I don't really need to at this point. And that's the point what I was just about to get to, is that once I've got the range, you know, the main skeleton in, the arms, the hands, then I'll go back through and start fortifying those joints and making them better, and then obviously reinforcing them. And then it'll be the time to reinforce the body, the feet and that kind of thing, which is my favorite part to do, because you're basically left then with a chunk of pieces, and with those pieces then you're just trying to find a way to make it, you know, look better, look stronger, look more solid. At the moment it's just like a skeleton, which is, you know, I gotta add like thickness to it and some weapons and things like that. So yeah, so this is the hand that I built yesterday. As you can see, each of these kind of digits moves separately. What doesn't move is the thumb. So the thumb stays, but because I can move the rest of the hand to close around the thumb, I don't really need it to. So, you know, I can still kind of do like a bunch of different movements and change, because even though I can't move the thumb specifically, I can move the entire hand as well as the individual digits, which means that the thumb is effectively, you know, movable. And then of course you can kind of just give you guys the middle finger, but also it twists this way as well. So I can hold it like that, twist the hand around. So that is as much as I've got with the hands. It's only going to need one hand because the other hand is going to be weaponized, meaning the hand will be like a cannon. Again, imagine things like Pacific Rim. They don't always have two hands. Sometimes the weapon is mounted to the hand or part of the hand, like a sword or something. In this case, I'm going to hope to make a weaponized arm, which would be like a cannon. I'm going to make a shoulder-based weapon, which would be like an extra gun. And I'm hoping to make a back-mounted sword as well for the mech. But obviously, you know, that's just having a brief look at the pieces. I might not be able to do all that, depending on how well it goes. So there we go. So that's what we've got so far. I may potentially have to sacrifice one of those levels of movement, because at the moment there's 3 levels of movement on the arm, which is way more than the rest of the body, but I think it needs it. But I may end up, if I run out of pieces, I may end up sacrificing one of those levels of movement and just going for the kind of, because at the moment he goes like this, he goes like this, and he goes like, wait, oh, and he goes like this. So like this, and like this. I don't think I need all of those, so I might have to sacrifice one if it comes to it. Anyway, catch up with the chat. Oh, no new chats. Oh, wait a sec. That's because I haven't. There you go. Fast forward it. I paused it. Will that mean the chat moves forward though? I don't think it makes a difference actually. So we're not seeing any new chats. So guys, that was me going on a bit of a mad one chatting. So let me know what you want to see. What do we want to talk about? I can talk about my haul from, what is that? I can do my haul from Bricktastic. I do intend on doing a video for the Bricktastic haul as well, and then trying to make a short out of that whole video at some point. But yeah, I can share the stuff I got from Bricktastic if anyone's interested. Failing that, I'm up for talking about whatever. And maybe working on this guy a little bit. Maybe I'll just carry on working on the hand, so that I'm not too overly focused on one thing. Right, I'm not happy with this hand. I want to make it look a bit better. So let's try something new. So yeah, so I did the hand last night after I'd kind of gotten a little bit frustrated with, I just wanted to feel like I'd achieved something, so I kind of gave up on the hand and then ended up going back to it late last night. But I wanted to make the hand look a bit more solid. Try and find a way of attaching it to the rest of this arm. Him over here so you guys can still see him. I was too busy stuffing my face and listening. Ha! Awesome. Gosh, the wind here is bad. Anyone else got the storminess? Paddy was almost blown across the garden. Yeah. I had my windows cleaned today, and I got a feeling they weren't going to come because the wind has been terrible. But anyway, they did come, and I'd forgotten. I told them I was going to open the back gates so they can do the back of the house. So when they arrived, I quickly ran through and opened it. And as soon as I opened the door, the wind just took it and I almost ripped it off the hinge. Same with the gate. I mean, I was a little bit annoyed because they left after doing the windows and didn't even close the gate behind them, so it was just blowing around in the wind. But yes, crazy. And I was going to pop out today as well, both to do a walk, because I said I was going to go for a walk every day, and I was going to go and pick something up because I needed to pick up a new Hoover or a new vacuum. It still works, but it's, I don't know what it is. It's just something about it. It just doesn't seem to be picking up as well as it used to. I think it's because we went for a cheap cordless one, or cheaper cordless one at the time, because we just wanted to get, I think at the time, I think we were going to try and keep our corded one and then have that one to kind of go up and downstairs. But when we realized how much easier it is, just like anything, you just stop using the old one. So we got rid of the corded one. And again, you know, once you're used to using one without a cord, and you got to go back to plugging something in, and then, oh, it's run out of cord, or you got to move it to another clip. Ugh. So anyway, so yeah, so we got rid of the corded one, and then now this one's kind of, we've had it for about 2 years, but it's not doing too well. It's just not picking up as well as I thought. And again, I think we've said the same thing. We'll keep it, and it'll be good to do like the stairs or something, and then we'll use the other one for the other rooms. But I know what's going to happen once we get the new one, and obviously this time I haven't skimped out. But I was going to go and pick it up from Argos tomorrow, or today. After seeing the weather, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to get delivery. It was only like £3, I know £5 for delivery. So it cost me more than that to get there on the bus. And obviously if I walked, it'd take me a couple of hours, and I can't. At the state I'm in at the moment, I couldn't walk it anyway. So yeah, so I haven't been able to go out for my walks. But the one thing I have done is I've spoken to my work, and they've said, not only am I only working 3 days next week, which I totally forgot about, I booked off 2 days, Thursday, Friday, plus the weekend I've got off anyway. So I'm only doing a 3-day week next week, and those 3 days at the beginning of the week. But what they've said is I can have a day off, or I've asked for a day off in between. So I can work Monday, off Tuesday, work Wednesday, I have 4 days off, and then even next week when I'm back full time, I'm only doing a maximum of 5 days in a trot. I think that week I'm doing 4, off 1. then in one, then off one, and then the following week I'm in for 5 and then off for 2. Whereas sometimes, well, generally, when I'm obviously not on holiday or sick, generally what I do is I'll work a 5-day week, have 2 days off, then work a 3-day week. Sorry, I'll work a 3-day week, have 2 days off, then work a 7-day week. I say a 7-day week. I work 7 days on the trot. So I'll work the weekend and then Monday to Friday, and then I'll have the following. So if I want every other weekend off, which is basically what we're allowed. I mean, you can work every weekend if you want, but I like to have every other weekend off. It then means automatically that I've got to work 7 days. And when my area manager came recently and was like, "Why are you working 7 days from the trot?" And I was like, "I've got to, because otherwise, if I want every other weekend off, how else am I able to do it?" You know what I mean? So, I mean, he's saying that you could break up the thing, but I like to have a 2-day break. So I'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and work. Have Thursday and Friday off. Then work Saturday and Sunday, and then work Monday to Friday, and then have Saturday and Sunday off, and then repeat. That's generally what I do. So anyway, because I haven't got to do that for a while, essentially, when I go back starting Monday, I'm going to be in out quite a lot for the next couple of weeks. So I get a chance to kind of get used to it and work my way back up to physical capability that I need to be able to do my job. So that'll help. So yeah. So that is the plan at the moment. What's everybody up to anyway? Apart from eating cake, what's everyone else out there doing? And again, if you're just joining the stream, give us a sub before we do anything else, and then get into the comments and let us know, where are you from? And what are you doing right now? I'm currently, what the hell is that doing there? I am from Wales in the UK and currently streaming. This is the 10th day on the trot of streaming. I'm really interested to find out if there's a YouTube person out there, what's the maximum amount of days somebody's streamed for? Because let's just say, for example, you know, somebody's done like 100 days of streaming on the trot and we get to like 90 and we've hit the threshold, I've hit the 1000, I might be tempted to push on and beat the record. So we'll see what happens. But this is me streaming every day until we hit 1,000 subscribers, and this is day 10. So if you're dropping by, new to the channel, give us a sub. The wind is not your friend. Gosh, the wind here is bad. Anyone else got? Oh, you already asked question. Already read that out. The wind is not your friend when your lungs aren't great though. Whips your breath away. At least it does me. Yeah, and I think it's the cold as well. The cold gets on my lungs. So I've just got baby lungs basically at the moment until I build them back up to normal. And even then, they'll never be 100%. They'll never be like normal. Both because I've got asthma and because the damage done when I had sepsis is kind of, I wouldn't say permanent, but it's not like a scarring as such on the lungs, but it's just made them susceptible. And of course, if that happened to me when I was in my teens or 20 or 30, or even if it was like, you know, I was just turned 40 or something like that, I might have had a chance. But because I was already in my 40s when it happened, past the point where they'll rebuild, you know, everything starts kind of shutting down and getting, you know what I mean? You're past your prime, do you know what I mean? So unfortunately, it means that, you know, they're never going to get any stronger than that. So it is what it is. I was thankful I don't plan to do any more runs. I've run a marathon a couple of times. I've run a couple of half marathons and a multitude of kind of 6K, 10K, 5K fun runs over the years. So I think my running days are kind of over anyway. So yeah, and chasing shoplifters, that was something I used to be good at because I was very good at track and field when I was younger and in my teens. And when it came to working in retail, especially when I worked for a food place in certain areas in Wales where it's kind of rough and people would steal like a pasty if they had to, I spent a lot of the time chasing people, so they'd send me after everybody. So and then of course at the end of that chase, sometimes getting into some fisticuffs as well, as it turned out. But don't have to do that anymore either because we're not even allowed to stop people anymore, which is just crazy. But Proud of how you're grinding. Keep it rolling, brother. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate you, mate, for stopping by. And just double check that you've subscribed, because we were talking about this the other day, and that there's a lot of channels I dip in and out of, and even people who've literally come to me and said, I've been watching your show or watching your channel, whatever it might be, for weeks, months, and didn't realize they'd never subscribed. Especially because I do, I would say, relatively good job of promoting the link to the shows that we do rather than the channel. What that means is whenever we've got a show on, I'll promote it via Instagram and I'll put the link on for the actual show. So you press that link, it'll take you directly to whatever live stream we're doing, whatever show. And even if I do a short, I'll post that link so people will go straight to it and then start watching. They won't necessarily then go out of that stream and go back to the homepage and check, oh, actually, which, you know, perhaps I need to start doing a better job of promoting the channel as opposed to the stream, and then assuming people are going to find their way to the show or whatever content I'm promoting via that channel. So that's something I probably need to do, but it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that weather. Can you hear the weather? With the, I'll take my mic over there. A little bit of the weather, ASMR. You're listening to the wind and the rain of Wales. Can't really hear the wind as much, even though I can definitely see it. Trees are blowing all over the shop. But the rain is seriously heavy, and it sounds worse on those doors because we've got a thick doorstep going out. This is double French doors kind of thing, or double patio doors, whatever you want to call them. So obviously the rain just hitting that constantly makes it sound sometimes worse than it is, but it is bad out there. So let's have a look. Let's do a sub count. Come on, see if we've got an extra one. Lots of people tuning in and out, but not many people commenting and leaving subs. But we still happy that we got 2 so far, and I plan to stream for at least another 45 minutes. So see how it goes. I do need to get off at about 7 actually, so not 45 minutes. Start making dinner for myself and Kirsty. Right, so let's see, how can we attach this to here? Actually, might be better if I use one of these. That's too loose. Right, okay, that's better. So now we need something that's gonna twist. Come on, twist again, like we did last summer. Oh, twist again, like we did last year. Do you remember when? Running now and up and down we go again. And it stops. Like we did last year. So I've just done a basic thing here, just so you guys can see, like, got the elbow, hand, wrist, but the problem is that that's way too floppy a joint, if that makes sense, because the type of pins I'm using. This is the problem with these. I mean, these are the blue pins. The blue pins are actually got better connectivity than the The tan ones, they're even looser, even more looser, but there isn't another way around it because that's the only type of pin you've got that's got a socket and well, I call it like a Phillips head joint, but it's the only one. Oh, I tell you what we have got. It's not going to do it. I need to get a second one of these. And then I need to find something to go in there. And down and up and down we go again. If it stops you never. Oh, let's twist again. Like we did last summer. Oh, twist again. Like we did last year. Alright, so we did have a double, one double pin. The only one in the set. Sadly, if I had more of these, my job would be a hell of a lot easier, but such is life. But because the arms aren't going to be symmetrical, i.e. I am going to do a completely different arm setup on the other arm. They don't need to be... I forgot how to use Lego. It doesn't need to be... What am I trying to say? It doesn't need to be symmetrical. So I don't need that. I'm not going to need that one piece anywhere else. I'm not going to need to duplicate it. So there we go. As you can see, the hand is there. Obviously the wrist moves and the fingers move. So I can make a fist. So looks a bit like Terminator's arm. So this now moves like this, even though that's not full range of motion of a normal arm. Oops. Knock my Asimo guy over. It's not the full range of motion of a normal arm, but what I can do is I can put a plate in there to stop it from going beyond that. So if I were to put in, for argument's sake, a plate there across the top, the arm stops there, which is pretty normal for a normal arm. But, so you've got the elbow joint, and then it twists that way as well. And all those joints are tight. You know, I can hold it up. So that's kind of what we want to do. The only issue I've got is that it's quite long. So if you put that on the body, the arm is going to be like, you know, it could touch his knee without even bending over. So I need to shorten that a little bit. So problem is I've used all the shorter Technic bars elsewhere. Oh no, tell a lie, I can see two there. And I was saving these because I'd already used these two on the arm somewhere else for the other arm, but now I'm not doing that. Means I can actually use them, which is great. Round and down and up and down we go again. Where it stops you never. Okay, that's not gonna work. Let's try this out somewhere different. Let's try it upside down. Yeah, that's better. I was really annoyed with that yesterday. Things dropping off. I don't mind things dropping off, but every time something dropped off, it seemed to drop off and roll onto the floor. I got this huge table in front of me, and somehow, every time something fell, it always fell off and fell onto the floor. Rolled off my lap. Okay. Right, that's good. So that can give me... That's fine, because I don't need it to go beyond that. Now that feels a bit too high up now, though. Jealousy won't get you anything that you want. Anyway, right, let's attach this arm so you guys can at least see what I've done so far. So there you go. Now, obviously as the weight increases, the strength of the actual thing overall is going to get, it's going to deplete. But that's fine because I can always strengthen the legs up at a later date. Ostiff is in the chat. How are you doing, Ostiff? I didn't realise you still had a moderator badge. I can't remember the last time we had a... I don't think I generally don't tend to look at the YouTube chat because I'm in StreamYard, but nice to see you, mate. Hope you're well. How's everything going with Mum? She moved in. Is she okay? And how are you? Let me know, mate. I'll be interested to... Oh, Paddy's message was retracted. Don't know whether you did that, Paddy, or YouTube did it for you. I'm going to clear my doom pile from my rage cleaning whilst you're streaming. See if I can do it in 30 minutes. Can you give me time update? Well, so it's 25 to now. I'll probably go till about 7. So another 25 minutes because Kirsty's going to be due in around that time and I need to start food. Doing pasta bake tonight, but I'm going to try and avoid what we normally do, which is have a big bowl of pasta bake because it's so tasty. Because I make it and I put some like blobs of pesto in there and some bits of some other spices and stuff just to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. But not that those are any of my ideas, but still. And then what I do is it's so tasty we end up having like a bowl full, but we're both trying to get in better shape before the wedding. So instead we are going to I'm going to have it with some like garlic bread and some salad on the side, which we need to start doing really. But Ostiff, I'm still alive, just on a big hiatus. Mum's back living with me full time and getting into new normal still. Been a lot, but we're getting close to finding it. Oh, that's good, mate. Hey, look, you family first always. It's kind of a little bit of a mantra that I kind of created for myself when I joined social media. I'm not even sure where it came from, but it should be. You know, you shouldn't be saying, you know, obviously we'll make sacrifices. You know, obviously I went to Brickworld and I could have spent that money on something for me and Kirsty or the wedding. I went to Bricktastic and that could have been, you know what I mean? But you have to have limits. But in terms of time well spent, then yeah, I think anything the social media that pulls you away from your real life or could effectively have a negative effect on it, you know, it goes without saying that that should be the priority, especially in a circumstance like yours where, you know, you got a dependent effectively. So, but yeah, looking forward to having you back in the space, mate, soon. And even if that's not soon, that's okay too. We'll still be here regardless. So, and it's not like you're missing anything in the moment anyway. So, hopefully you'll be back up and at it by the time Brickworld comes around. Although I won't be there, it would be great to see you kind of in your natural. Whoops, there goes my man. Great to see you back in your natural habitat, as it were. I've been catching you in other chats and stuff here and there, so I know that I knew you were okay, but not up to. I know obviously at the same time not up to your full strength. So, but yeah, looking forward to getting there. Looking forward to seeing the brick connection back as well. I'm more than happy to be first guest back after a hiatus. But I'm pretty sure you've probably got other people, more important people that you'd want to get on that first show back. But let me know, mate. I'm always available. Well, I can always make myself available within reason. So I shouldn't say I'm always available, because that's not 100% true. But I'm just going to give this guy a bit of stability with some of these plates, because the weight of this arm is taking its toll on him a little bit. So I need to kind of fix him into a stood position just until I can kind of work on the legs, because the legs are relatively easy in terms of fortifying. But it is handy to do the body, the arms, all that stuff first before making the legs permanent, because in the past I've worked from the bottom up, which you do have to do when you do a mech. You work from the bottom up, but in the past I've happy with the body, and then I've gone to fortify the legs at the end and realized that I've got enough pieces to make it strong enough in the top of the top half, because I kind of worked on it laying down, isn't strong enough to support the weight of the rest of it, which is kind of disappointing then, because then you have to start stripping pieces off the body to fortify the bottom. And I'm only talking in terms of when I made a mock out of another set, which I've only done with about 3 other things. But so this is because I think I could go away and make a mech. Hopefully you guys can see from what I've made so far out of this one in just 2 sit-ins that I have clearly got capability to make mechs. But I just think most of my pieces are tied up in most of my usable pieces, because I've got bags and bags of kind of bricks, but everything's separated into colors. And the way I work when I do a mock is I need to be able to see everything I've got. I found it quite difficult to keep digging through. I haven't got the space to kind of spread everything out. I'm not in one of these situations like Ken where I can sit in a room and everything is surrounding me in different cups and organized. I haven't got that luxury. So I have to literally either open a bag at a time, and it's only one color. The only other thing I've got is big bags of like block type parts, colored blocks, which not all blocks, but they're great for building things. Like if I wanted to build like cars or buildings and stuff like that, but not for mechs, because you need like Technic pieces and you need like more complicated pieces, and obviously to have all that out at once, it would probably fill like 10 rooms to lay it all out and be able to see it all, and then that's just not a conducive way to build. So especially when you're building completely from scratch. So I always just thought the best thing to do is to build a mech out of just using one set, because you're limited to the pieces you've got, yes, but also it's more of a challenge. Like I said, if I had countless pieces and I could say, that I could start building this and be like, right, I need this piece, ding, and it's in my hand, and not only would I be finished by now, but it'd be kind of easy. That for me, that is the challenge of just finding ways to work around based on what you've got. And obviously, like I said, for me, there's not really much of a choice at the moment, because all my sets are kind of, bagged up. So, and I don't really want to mix my sets. I could grab 20 Lego sets and spread them all over the table, but then I'm taking pieces from different ones to make the mech, and then I've basically bastardized, 10 different sets, which I don't want to do, because I do want to build them at some point. So yeah. So that's why I do it like this, and I always found it to work quite well. So, so there we go. Brick connection might be something else. Yeah, look, I get that, mate. I know obviously you're not going to come straight out of the gates with a new episode of Brick Connection. It's going to take you a while just to get, when you are ready to get back into just, chats and catching up with people and whatever. That's going to take weeks or months. It's just sad really, because I know that you wanted to probably build upon the mock thing that you did last year. Maybe not that particular mock, but I know you would have liked to, given the opportunity to do another mock for Brickworld and stuff like that, which of course obviously you're not able to do at the moment. So that is kind of annoying, frustrating. I mean, I'm in the same boat. If I was going to Brickworld, which obviously I'm not now, but if I was going, I feel like I would be the same. I'm so limited on time with the wedding and everything else I've got going on, that the things I would have wanted to do if I was going, i.e. the mock that I wanted to do, or mocks I wanted to do, run an event. I spoke to the guys, Super Hulk guys, who do a lot of the planning for Brickworld, about running my own event at the thing. So I already kind of worked out roughly what I'm going to do, and the logistics of it obviously needed fine tuning, but still would need to create that product and the instructions and get them laminated and do a poster and all that kind of stuff, as well as, you know, work out the rules and regulations and get there and set it up, order all the pieces and work through the mock. I don't know, there was a lot involved, and even if I was 100% going, I don't think I'd have enough time to get it all done. So yeah, part of me is glad that I'm not going, because I would have, if something changed tomorrow, if tomorrow I, you know, suddenly came by a large sum of money and was able to go to Brickworld as well as have the wedding, I'd still be kind of disappointed, because I know that I wouldn't have the time, because money don't buy time. So I wouldn't have the time to do what I wanted to do to go. So I would just be going as a spectator, and that I would feel a bit boring, because I did that last year. I wanted to get more involved and, you know, do a few bits, like I said, display as well and things like that. So we shall see. Maybe 2027, at least it gives me, you know, 18 months to plan for it and everything. So I agree fully. This is all just a hobby that can be replaced at any time. Family cannot keep an eye around March 25th trying to cook some things. Hard to keep up in all the space, but I pop in briefly. No, yeah, I understand, mate. It's tough, Steph, and we care for both parents, and it's not easy in the slightest. Make sure you look after yourself too. No, 100%. He's had it quite tough. I have a lot of backlog sets I got to get to. Got the Enterprise, the Cheyenne, a few others. Wow, I may have a mock in me, but I'm indifferent. If I can work on my X-Files build, I'll do it. If not, then nah. Yeah, like I said, you know, because that's a little bit different to just building or just popping in chats. And to me, doing them live streams and doing the show is like clockwork now for me. So that doing the show and letting the show go on, and obviously because I have support from the guys and they can kind of run it and do different elements themselves at the drop of a hat, that is kind of like, you know, remembering to hoover your carpet, or remember to empty your dishwasher, or whatever it is. It's just another random task. And I don't mean it as in like it doesn't mean anything. What I mean is that there's no work involved in that now, whereas with Lego, building a set, it's always been the same. I need free time. I need time where I'm not only have got nothing else to do, but nothing else that needs to be done. And I can just sit and relax and build Lego, and I don't often do that, because between the streams and housework and work, spend time with my daughter, and obviously spend time with Kirsty, and now planning for the wedding and various other things, I don't actually have time to sit and build. So for me, it's more of a challenge to spend time sitting and building than it is to run the show. So, but yeah, in terms of putting a mock and stuff together, like all that seems well overwhelming for me, but to run a show every week isn't. So it's good that it's got to that point. But I mean, this is what these streams are about. It's an opportunity for me to do some building, and I should be doing that. But I know that set, if I really wanted to sit and enjoy that set, it would take me more than an hour. And that's all I was going to stream for, even more than an hour and a half. I could get that build done in probably 20 minutes if I really wanted to, but then I wouldn't engage with the chat and you just see the top of my head. So I want to make a thing of it. I don't generally like building on streams, because I either don't get to fully enjoy or immerse myself in the build, or I don't get to enjoy what's going on. Like, especially if we're doing a show, I would never do it during the show, because I'll miss out on things. But even on a stream, I feel like I'd miss out on interacting with the chat. And it's not like some people do it all the time, but you just find the build streams you pop into, people are just sat there for long periods of time, just quiet, just building, and it's like, okay, this is great, but you know, there's only so long you want to watch something like that. So So yeah, so for me, like I said, even though I've got a backlog of sets and I could easily be building them on these streams, unless the stream is going to be long enough where I can take my time on the build and engage with the chat. So you're looking at probably double. So if it takes me an hour to build that set, I need to be doing at least a 2-hour stream, a build stream. So, which none of these streams really are supposed to be that long. So we'll see. We'll see. But I do need to start digging out some more smaller builds. The other thing is I could build that Arc 117 now on a stream, or on a stream tomorrow, for example, for 2 hours. And then all that's going to happen is it's just going to sit. I haven't even literally got anywhere to sit it. So I'd have to go upstairs. It'll be sat on my desk when I'm trying to do my shows or whatever. And then eventually I'm going to take it apart because I've got no like display space at all. And I have got to film a video back. Also, I'm going to do a part of it on a live stream of sorting out my Lego room. So once the room is like sorted to the point where everything non-Lego has been sorted and organized, I'm going to just prop the camera up and then just let you guys see what it is I see when I'm sat behind my desk and what I'm streaming, and the kind of mess it's gotten into, because there's not enough space for me to reorganize everything. Need a free space up in the room itself first so that I can unpack everything or move things out the way and then pack everything back away tidy. So it's become like a mess on top of a mess on top of a mess. And it's actually quite embarrassing, but I don't mind you guys seeing it because a lot of people are in the same boat. And also, you know, I've always told you guys about it, but never actually let you see it. So it'd be interesting to get your thoughts and opinions on it. And obviously I can just kind of do a live stream while sorting through it. Might see how that goes. Again, it's going to be difficult to interact with the chat. I might just even just film it and then film me sorting through it in stages and, you know, speed it up, because I don't think it'd be that interesting to sit and watch. But yeah. But I got to get back to fixing a few things around the place here, and then we have our priest come in for supper. But I hope all is well, and keep an eye out for the next pop-up live. Take care, my dude. Yeah, every day, mate. Every single day. This is day 10 of me streaming, and I'm going to keep going until we hit 1,000 subscribers. So stay tuned, because we're on the road to 1K. Enjoy your supper with the priest, and hope everything's good with your mum and stuff. Say hello to her from me. And yeah, anytime you want to pop in, mate, I'm here every single day. Might not be the same time every day. I'm going to try and vary it, but I will be streaming every day for the foreseeable future, because you know, if we were getting 10 or 20 subs every day, I might say, hey, I don't know how much longer this is going to go. But because it's only been sort of 5 or 6 or whatever it might be, then I might be here for a while. So come and join us any day, mate. And obviously, if you want to pop on the stream, say hello, let me know. I'd rather, if you're going to pop on, do a StreamYard one, because I've had both Liam and Whittaky on the YouTube version, and A, I can't really control it very much because of where the camera is, and B, it's already in long. You're looking at a long form view because it's in short. So when you split the screen, it becomes like a really narrow picture, and it's not great for people to look at. So I'm going to avoid that when anybody else is on. But yeah, if you want to pop on, or anybody out there in the chat wants to pop on one of these streams, I'm not even deciding what time I'm streaming until, you know, the day of, or sometimes just before. But I'm happy to work around people. So if, for argument's sake, Whittaky messaged me and said, well, I'm free, I can pop on a live stream with you tomorrow on a daily live stream, and then I'd say, yeah, what time suits you, whatever, and then I'd schedule it through StreamYard. But aside from that, I'm just going to pop this on because it's quicker, easier. Pop the light on, pop the phone on, pop your mic on, go live just whenever I feel like it. So however, obviously come next week, starting back work on Monday, so it'll probably be either evenings or it'll be a very quick one in the afternoon while I'm on my lunch break in work. So we shall see. Whilst if maybe someone could stream with you whilst you clean to chat and engage with the chat. Maybe, yeah, that's a good idea. So if I'm sorting the room out and have somebody else on the stream, that'd be a good idea. If I can organise someone else to be on with me, then they can engage with the chat while I'm back and forth, and then obviously I'll have the volume up, so if they're anybody saying something, saying like, oh, what's that you got in that box? So that's a really good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that myself, but yeah, think about that. Oh, I'm looking at these parts here and I'm like, oh, I really can't wait to get to the part when I'm like building up the body and making the weapons, because I can see some really good ideas for weapons. In fact, I might start doing the body a little bit now. I'll take these arms off because they're a little bit wobbly at the moment and they get in the way. And I'm going to work on the body. So I want this dome piece to kind of fold down so it covers the character. The character fits in there just about. I say the character, the minifig fits in there just about. So I want it to be like, ooh, so that's like a kind of cockpit, if you like, for the mech. And this piece can be troubling, but sometimes can be like one of the easier things to do, because you know you've got your hinge piece for your cockpit. There's only so many ways you can mount it, so do I want it to come from the bottom or the top? I feel like coming from the bottom would be cooler. I want to build in some kind of seat, effectively. Yeah, I'd like to build some kind of seat and then some kind of control panel inside for him to kind of stand on or sit on. For him to control, obviously, but that looks okay. So there's a couple of gear pieces in here which would be good for like controls. If I can... There's only one. This one there was two. Ah, that's annoying. Why'd you put one gear piece in this? I think that'd be better. Since there's only one of those. Let us... Don't forget, guys, let me know what you're up to at the moment. Or don't forget to let me know what you're up to right now if you're watching. And don't forget to give us a sub. Like the stream as well, be nice. just giving this, and again, this is, I'm only doing like a basic build around. People might ask, well, why not, you know, if you're gonna build it kind of thing, but I do like to play about with things a little bit. So I find it easier to, rather than go in with the final product or whatever it might be, I find it easier to go in and just, you know, do some basic building, and then fine tune it later. Because I know no matter what I do, I'm always going to go back and try and, you know, improve it, make it better, whatever. Anyway, so may as well just kind of lean into that and yeah, just do the minimum possible just so you can get an idea of the kind of shape and size and everything you want, and then expand on it at a later date. So there you go. As you can see, I just built like a basic, obviously the top part needs doing, but when you kind of, there goes the fig. If there's a way, I might try and clip him in so he can sit in there. But essentially, he's kind of sat in that little sort of cockpit area there that I've kind of made for him. He just kind of sits in there, and then obviously you close that up, and that would be like slightly lower. With a mech, I tend to do it lower down than where the head would be. I don't like it being like on top because I don't want it to look too human-like. So I do it like in the middle of the body there, and then the arms around it. So it just gives the opportunity then to build up the shoulders and maybe have some kind of shoulder-mounted weapons and stuff. But that's where we're up to so far, and then I could just kind of build around his head area with some different elements as well. But again, I might change this because I just want to make it right for now, and then the idea being then is that going forward I can when it comes to making some improvements, I might take some pieces off here, or I might have some more pieces left than I expected to have, so it'll give me the chance to touch her up a little bit if needs be. It's catching on something. What's that catching on? Once again, guys, in the chat, let me know where you are in the world right now. Where are you watching from? I'd like to get a kind of sense of who's watching and whereabouts they're from. It's almost just, I'm already here. What's inside your pink wheels? How's it going? Howdy from work. Howdy. You guys in the US are only 4 hours behind on the eastern seaboard at the moment. I can't remember whereabouts in the States Pink Wheels is from, but only 4 hours behind. I remember last year I really made use of that time to do streams and stuff with people because the gap was smaller, so it meant that we could, you know, fit into plans a little bit better. Whereas now we're at the point where it's like it doesn't really matter. So but yeah, I keep meaning to send you a mock. I see a picture of a Bricktastic. You may have already seen it by now, but Pink Wheels, that it was like a new Hashima micro scale. So someone had like replicated it, but in like I say micro scale. I mean, it's still like a 16 by 16 plate, I think, but it had like the entire thing in that, and I thought it was really cool. Took a picture of it. I'll have to try and send it you when I get a chance. Also, just while you're here, oh, excuse me, I've asked all the people who receive prizes from the charity event to send me in a photo, and when they do, I'm going to do like a post. I might even do two. One just as a thank you to everybody who got involved and just kind of have their kind of symbols and everything kind of thrown up. If I had more time and you know, if I did this for a living, I'd like to get like snapshots from each of those streams put together as a kind of like, you know, funny little moment from each one and have it in one long reel. But obviously the time it takes to do that and then screen share everything and screen record everything, it's just, I mean, I don't even get to do that with my own show, so I just can't see me doing it. I'm one of those people who I think about all these great things I'd like to do and then realise that, you know, I want to paint the Sistine Chapel and then realise I've got a wooden spoon. So it's just not going to happen. But no, one thing I have done, or two things I do want to do, is I want to just do a quick sort of PSA thank you to all the people who got involved. So that's specifically for the people who helped run the event and put shows on or whatever. And then also a quick one about this, because I know that I remember years ago we used to have like competitions and stuff, whatever, it might have been different things, and you never kind of hear about who wins. I mean, obviously this is before the days of social media, so sometimes there was never any way of finding out, but I always used to question it and be a bit like, well, did they even give the prize out? And I want for transparency, especially because it's for a charity, to be able to showcase that. So although we didn't make a huge thing of it throughout the event, because I wanted the focus to be on the charity and, you know, people not donating because they thought there was something to win, I didn't want to kind of incentivize it too much, but it was nice to have them prizes there. And we started the entire charity event with nothing. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to get a photo of everybody with their prize, and then I can do like a quick sort of post to say, this is, you know, Trevor and he won, you know, I don't know, a croissant or whatever it was. So yeah, so just letting you know, I guess. I think the guys who won the gift voucher said that was on the way from you. I know I've sent the prize to Sarah, who's actually in the chat, and I know that, who else was it? Oh, the Superhawks have sent their Lego set out to that guy who was going to win it. The person who won the Cool Hand Luke merch actually asked if they could pay the difference and have a hoodie instead of one of the t-shirts, and which I was quite, blown away by, because I didn't even think they really knew anything about the brand or the channel so much. But to purchase anything from that site, it didn't have to be anything from like my merch necessarily, or the show merch. Not sure what happened there. Sorry, guys. I don't know how when it cut off, because I was just on a bit of a rant. But I looked up to see that I wasn't connected, so not sure what happened there. Probably the weather. Anyway, I'll carry on anyway, and if you missed anything, let me know. But so yeah, Cody's going to cover the whole cost. So he was going to cover a cost of a t-shirt as a kind of sponsorship thing, but instead he's going to cover the entire cost, which is great. I was going to offer to pay the difference and cover the postage and pay for the item, and he's going to cover all three. So big shout out to Matt Black Bricks, Stud Lake. Go and check him out over on his YouTube channel, and he's got his own sort of show now, which is not a live broadcast show. They pre-record, but it's like a comedy show, and for some reason I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, because I'm terrible with names, as you probably all worked out. But I'm gonna look it up now, because I hate the I can see Pink Wheels has put some comments in there, which is great to see. And we've had another subscriber, so we're on 353, which is great. I kind of told myself that I'm not gonna end the stream until I get to 5. Lake Effect, the channel is called Lake Effect, with Stud Lake and his brother. I've forgotten his brother's name now. Jesus Christ. So glad I've only got one child, and even her name I get wrong all the time. The brain. No, I told myself I wasn't gonna close the stream until I got to at least 5 subs, but last night I had a guts full, and we've got them without me even having to kind of, stretch it in most cases. But last night I had a guts full because I was just getting frustrated with that mock, and today I've actually got something else I need to do. In fact, I should have been off at 7, but Kirsty's supposed to be home by now. She normally gets in about 22. Normally gets in about 10 to ish, which is concerning, especially with the weather being like it is, although the wind and the rain has both stopped, by the sounds of it. So I will have to go and check up on her on Live 360, because I want to check she's okay. And also I was supposed to have started dinner by now, so I do need to cut her off here, guys. But I can see, as usual, there's way more people watching, or not way more, but there has been way more. At one point during the stream I looked up and we had 27 viewers, but we've only had a handful of people commenting, and generally tends to be only one person. So yeah, there's always more people watching than there is commenting. So for those people who are watching and not commenting, please give us a sub. Hopefully you can at least understand the language I'm speaking in, but go and give us a sub. We are doing a live stream every single, I keep saying we, because I'm so used to calling everything we do on this channel we, because of the group effort of the show. But when I say we, I mean me, the channel. But I'm live streaming every single day until we hit 1,000 subscribers, and this is day 10. So far we've achieved 40 over 40 subs in 10 days, which is great. But obviously, the more we can get, the better. So as well as streaming every day until we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm also going to be building one part, or adding one part to this set for every new subscriber, and at the end of each show I'll put those parts on the set, which reminds me to bring the instructions up ready. And the set is the 7754 Mon Calamari 7754 Lego Star Wars Mon Calamari Home One Starcruiser. And so yeah, so if you guys can help me by giving me a sub, whether you're watching this on replay or if you're watching it now live and not in the comments, give me a sub and I can add more pieces, which is obviously good. So found my location. Right, let's read these pink wheels ones. Sorry, Meredith, I didn't. East Coast, Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, okay, right. I'll try and remember that this time. I know that area. It's funny actually because we had Ostif on earlier, and he's from there originally, although he lives in Ohio now. So, or as us natives refer it, Heartlana. Heartlana. Or yeah, something. He is a master of micro tolage. Oh, you've seen it. Okay, I think he's Polish. Hey, no rush. My mock list is 20 pages long too. Yeah. Next year, if you give me a heads up, I'll get a gift card from Atlanta Brick Company, largest aftermarket Lego store, and they'll ship. Amazing. Pam needs her card. Oh. So, right. So I'm guessing you haven't sent it yet, but that's great. Just send it when you're ready. There's no rush. Liam's out there. Hey, Liam, how are we doing? Good night. Lurkers happen. Just get out of bed. Oh, of course, yeah, it's early in the morning for you. But no, at the moment, guys, as you can see, I'm building this mech out of the parts, specifically and only the parts from the Rogue One Shadow Star Wars Lego set. So far, we have an arm, a basic cockpit, and the legs. Now, the legs actually do. There is a joint at the ankle, the knee, and the hips, but I just to kind of so I can work on the rest of the mock. But you can kind of see there his legs bend a little bit, but I've just put some plates on to stop it from moving around too much until I can get back to the legs and solidify them for now while I'm working on the rest of the body. So it is very kind of rudimentary. It's just skeleton at the moment, and obviously some of these plates will come off once I can solidify it. But in terms of range of motion, obviously this one arm isn't finished, but this arm has the ability to do it with a clear background. Has the ability to do this, move arm that way. You can move the arm this way, and it can also move the arm this way. Oops. Sometimes it pops off, but ignore that. It can also, again, like I said, I haven't strengthened any of these connections with any other pieces. I've just done your basic, but it can also do that, and that does pop off quite easily. But just a lot of it's depending on how I'm holding it. So yeah, so it does that as well. We've got the elbow joint, which kind of, I know you can't really see it. It's not the best camera angle, but we've got the elbow joint here. We've got, it's probably easier if I just take the arm off and show you guys. We've got the elbow joint here, and obviously it twists this way as well. And then on the hand, we've got the entire wrist moves, but also the fingers work individually as well. So, and obviously, and it can twist this way. So yeah, so it's a decent range of motion so far. Could it be better? Yes, but you know, one thing at a time, I guess. And then obviously, once I'm kind of happy with the general structure of it, then I can start reinforcing certain elements until that's done with whatever parts I've got left, and then whatever's left after that, I can then go through and start making cosmetic additions such as armor and, you know, fortifying certain areas, you know, making the feet better with better balance, and, you know, padding out the body a little bit if you like. I've done a basic cockpit as well, as you can see. So it comes down, and obviously the fig, if I hadn't already leant him forward, kind of sits in place there. The cockpit comes up and keeps him in place, which again needs some work, but will be complete obviously in the fullness of time. So yeah, and that's just a little bit of that I've built now on stream, and some of it I built on yesterday's stream. But again, it's only using the parts from the Lego Star Wars Rogue's Shadow, which I thought was actually quite a good looking ship, but a crap set. It was at that time where Lego really didn't have the ability to beef out Lego sets. So it was very kind of empty and hollow and a bit kind of jangly, and not really a kind of solid looking ship, even though the ship itself is, like a solid build. The ship itself, I mean, from any angle you could see right through it, because it was mostly made up of Technic and not very well plated. So I don't actually like the set. I've always wanted to do a really good mock of it and, use the main structure and then just kind of beef it out a little bit. But I've seen so many people who've done fantastic mocks, even like UCS size ones, and they're all available on Rebrickable, so go and check that out. That it's like, as much as I like doing mocks and stuff, I try to do stuff that's either original, like this, where I'm doing it as I go, so there's not going to be any person on the entire planet who's got the same mock as me. Or I like to do ships that aren't, either haven't already been done or aren't as well known. As an example, I'm currently, one of my oldest mocks that I've been working on for about 7 years is a mock of the IG-88's ship, based on a particular graphic novel. I'm not sure even who, I think it's a Boba Fett graphic novel, but IG-88 in there shows a few scenes of him getting this new ship, and the ship itself, it looks pretty cool. So I built it using just the Millennium Falcon parts, and I'd say I'm 90%, 90% finished. I've built the main structure, and it's got all the features to make it look exactly like it's supposed to look like, and from what you do see in the graphic novel. But I do need to tweak a few parts and give it a bit of an interior. The interior actually, don't only see a few scenes in the graphic novel of the interior, so it's very basic, but I do want to work on that a little bit, and then swap out a few parts that I've used to make like the wall structure to make it look a bit nicer from the outside. But the main structure, the openable lid, the ramp that comes down, the kind of landing gear and stuff is all done. So yeah, I need to do just show that off at some point, at least the progress so far, but I always forget it's up there. Anyway, so what are we saying? Let's catch up with this, so that they're behind. So yeah, I'm going to make tracks now, guys. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in. We have been live for, Christ, almost an hour and 40 minutes, considering it was only supposed to be an hour. Not done too bad, but I do appreciate everybody out there who's tuned in either throughout the stream, who's out there watching right now, or is watching this on replay. And for the final time, this is me on day 10 of streaming every single day until we hit 1,000 subscribers. Now we've gained about just over 40 subscribers, new subscribers since I started this, so I'm quite chuffed with that. But as for every new subscriber, we're also adding a part to this Lego set, 7754 Mon Calamari Lego Star Wars Home Cruiser, and this is the build so far, and I get to add on as many pieces as I've got new subscribers. So let's find out how many new subs we've had. So yesterday we finished on 350, and at the moment it looks like we're currently on 353. Let me just refresh that in case we've had any new. Nope. So day 10, as usual, guys. After I've written this down, if we have any more, they will go on tomorrow's. Pardon me. So 353, which means I get to add 3 more parts. Excuse me. And obviously I've got to find them as well. So yesterday we added those, so we get to add 2 of those pieces. Grey, that's why I'm looking for black. So I get to add 2 of these single pin pieces on either end. So 1 on that end, 1 on that end, That's 2 pieces, and then the next page. Oh, so right, 2 of them, and 1 of them. So let's just do the 1 piece so we can round off nicely. So the third part is going to be a 1x2 red plate. And there's not a lot of red in here, so it should be easy to spot. Yep, there he is. One of these that's going on as well, and that is going to go on the edge of the grey right there. So this where we're up to, as you can see now, with this, and obviously the A-wing, or at least the underside of the A-wing, is starting to take shape. And yeah, there's going to be some landing gear attached underneath there, I think. Get the engine pieces on. So yeah, so this is where we're up to so far, and obviously I will be back again tomorrow for day 11 of streaming. One day, streaming every day until we hit 1,000 subscribers. Thanks everybody for watching. I will see you tomorrow. No idea what time it's going to be, but if we hit, by some miracle, if we hit 375 by tomorrow, I will build this, because I did say at the beginning of the stream, if we can get to 375 by tomorrow, I'll build this tomorrow. Even though I don't really want to, because I don't enjoy building on streams, and even though I don't want to because I don't know where to put it afterwards, I'll still do it. But I can't see that happening in a moment, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks everybody. Good night.